Okay. So nice to meet you today. And today we're going to start our first lesson of the IELTS writing. And we're going to study and practice. We will analyze a lot of graphs, inline graph. If the graphs that I prepared are not enough, we will find more graphs on the internet and we will try to analyze more of them. When I say analyze, I will show you the graph and you will tell me your plan on how to write all of them. Okay, all of the main features that you can see. But first, I'm gonna check your before class writing. So this is the line graph. If you remember, this is what you did yesterday or perhaps this morning. Yesterday, okay. Have you ever taken the real test yet? Or it's just a mock test before?
No, I haven't.
So you have done a mock test, right?
Yeah.
From another center.
Yeah.
Okay, and they told you that your score is 6.5. Your
Yeah,
level
around
now is
that.
6.5 in writing alone.
Yeah.
Okay. And when you wrote this essay, did you have to use Google or everything is from your own mind and skill?
I had to use a little bit of Google.
In which part? Like in vocabulary or in what?
In vocabulary.
Can you show me the vocabs that you use?
Like words that describe the change.
Okay. For example, how this one explicitly
one.
revealed. Okay. Steady growth.
Yeah.
Witnessed a
No,
fluctuation.
not that really.
You know that already from the
Yeah.
start. Okay. Okay. So now I'm going to. Do you know how examiners check the writing?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna read it first while giving you some of my comments. The two line graphs compared number of international and local students in Australia, Australian universities between 2001 and 2010. The first graph demonstrates the figure for foreign students who started their studies and the total student count, whereas the second graph displays the same information for Australian students. Okay, good grammar. This is already 1 point. Okay, so if you want to add more detail, it's not that it's very, very important. I'm going to give you just one more thing that you can do in introduction. You can talk about intervals. So sometimes the year jumps every 5 years or every 2 years, every 4 years. This one, the period jumps every year. So the interval is 1 year. So you can add with an interval with a 1 year interval. Okay, you can add it like this and it will be additional score for you.
Can you highlight that phrase?
Sure. I will make it blue as an additional. Okay. It's not about making more or writing more. We just have the minimum of 150 words, of course. It's just that we want to collect as many correct answers as much as possible so that later, if we made a mistake somewhere here, the examiner can use our extra correct to compensate for the small mistake we did somewhere under there. Okay, so it's like collecting extra points so that if we made a mistake later on, we can have an extra point to level our score. Overall, the data explicitly revealed that the commencing rates of local students were much higher than overseas students throughout the period. However, the total number of international students experienced a substantial increase, while the figure for local students went up in the first 6 years and leveled out. Okay, in detail, there were around 10,000. This one, you are correct because they didn't use the comma, like 100, comma, 000. They didn't use it, and you followed how it is. It's okay if you put comma here, but never ever put Vietnamese way, period. It's okay for comma. If you didn't use it, it's totally fine. You're just following the main graph. Compared to 180,000 local students who applied for Australian universities in 2001, a ratio of 1 to 18. Where did you find this? Like, are you good at math or what?
I know.
You know it from the start, right?
Yes.
Part of your prior skill before
Yes.
our class. Okay, very good. The figure for students underwent a steady growth. Foreign students underwent a steady growth and reached its peak at 40,000 students in 2010. Meanwhile, okay, I'm highlighting some good vocabs and phrases. The number of Australian students witnessed a fluctuation in the period. For example, here you said period because you already said 2010 here. So this is an extra point for you, hitting the highest point in 2002 at approximately, slowly decreasing from, okay. On the other hand, the total number of enrollment of both types of students grew dramatically, starting from about a ratio of 1 to 20, reaching the top at 80,000 and 600,000 students respectively. Very good. Many students, they forget to put comma before respectively. I'm very happy to see that there's a comma here. Nevertheless, in the last 4 years, different from the stable increase of the number of foreign students, the number of Australian students remained almost intact. Okay, very good, well written. So, task achievement, were you able to analyze and summarize the main features that are anticipatedly should be in the essay? If yes, of course, task achievement 8.0. I can even give you 9.0 for task achievement. Coherence and cohesion. Was your writing easy to understand? Was it easy to follow? Was it connected? Was it organized in a way that readers can imagine or make a picture, even though they don't have a visual in their mind? Um, the next one is vocabulary. Did you use vocabularies that are highly used in line graph? Vocabulary of development, such as increase, decrease, and a lot more. Yes, you did. And lastly is grammar. Did you show or did you use basic, a combination, a mixture of basic, intermediate, and complex level of grammar? Yes, you did. Very well, very much. Okay, total is 8.0. So I guess you're really, really good at task 1, analyzing graphs and writing about them.
I
However,
had a hard time finding the details.
how long did you do this? Like how many minutes or hours?
Maybe an hour.
Oh, okay. Um, it's okay because you're just practicing now, and it's all about making ourselves more familiar in the ways of the line graph. And then later, you'll become faster than before. So basically, if you don't know yet, let me explain to you. It's just 33.33%, the score, okay? The scoring. Task 2 is 66%, of course, score. So in the real test, in the actual test, you should not spend too much time analyzing the graph if it's too difficult for you. You need to allocate 20 minutes of your time here and 40 minutes here, because task 2 is double the score. So for example, you got 8.0 in task 1, and here you got 6.0. Right? So that would be 20 divided by 4. Sorry, 3. 6.5. So that is going to be your score, 6.5. That's why even though a lot of Vietnamese people are so good at logic, you know, this is task 2 is the thing that makes them pull down this score when it comes to essay. But don't worry, like next week I can see your first task 2 writing. For now, good job. It's okay if you spent 1 hour to do this. It's just a practice. Okay, now we're gonna analyze some line graphs. You know what is a line graph already. I don't have to explain it to you, so we can save time. Let's just move to the main part, which is finding the features. You know already that how to find the main features should be the commencement or the start of the line graph, of the line of the development, how they developed over the period, over the timeline, and how they finish or how they ended the development. Okay, so with a quick analysis, let's say, let me give you 1 minute. Can you tell me the main features of this line graph and which features will you put in paragraph 3 and in paragraph 4? Okay, 1 minute, how? Go. Okay, so I think this one is very, very easy. Let's start. Go.
So for them, I think that the swimming used to be the first one from the start, and then it became the lowest. While
Okay.
it is the opposite for team sports and gym activities. And
Okay.
in paragraph 3, I think I'll write about team sports and gym activities. They both increase,
Mhm.
kind of the same. And
From
in
which
paragraph
point? From what point to what point?
from 1995 to 2010.
Okay. Do you think this is main feature?
Not really.
Not really. Yes. You need to anticipate that, can I write a lot? Is there a lot of features in this graph? If you feel that there's just a little, you need to pick up some small features that you can write on, because there are some line graphs that are so small we cannot write so much, but we need to reserve them. We need to anticipate how long our essay is going to be. If you think that, oh, there's not much main features here, let me add this one. Okay, you need to plan it like that. Yes, it is not a main feature, very big main feature, but it is talkable. It means we can talk about it. Okay, continue, please.
And then I think I will compare, that part with the gym activities from 2010 to 2015.
Okay.
And in the last paragraph, I'll write about swimming. And I will also compare swimming with team sports and gym activities from 2010 to 2015.
Okay. All right. Very good. Good job. That is very, very easy. And you must remember some of the ways to paraphrase, because it's not only about like analysis, it's also about English paraphrasing. For example, I can say the number of swimmers, instead of saying the members of the swimming club, I can use swimmers, right? So that I can avoid any repetition of vocabulary words. I can also say water sports enthusiast. So it becomes higher level English. It depends on how many synonyms you know in terms of what you see in here. Team sports, you can say athletes. Team, athletes. Orange, right? 30%. Unchanged percentage was recorded, blah, 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 blah. Okay, in the 1995 to 2000, unchanged percentage was recorded in terms of the athletes in the club, like that. Okay, gym activities, you can say people attending fitness activities. Gym and fitness the same, so you can also find that synonym there. Okay, let me just erase this and move to the next one. I think we're going to be fast. But that's good because we will have a lot of chance to analyze more. Okay, next one. Go, go, go. 1 minute. Okay, you ready? 1, 2, 3, go.
I see that Germany is the highest, while Austria used to be the lowest, but then got in the third place.
Okay.
And they all seems to have an upward trend.
Upward trend. Okay.
In paragraph 3, I think I will compare Austria and France.
Okay, wait a second.
From
Austria and France.
1995 to 2001, they experienced a steady increase,
Very
while
good.
from 2001 to 2005, Austria increased dramatically, while France still seems to have that steady increase.
Okay,
And
steady.
in the last paragraph, I'll compare Italy and Germany.
Okay.
Because they saw like a fluctuation. They're not stable. And specifically in 1999, Germany, the amount of money spent on books in Germany decreased, while in Italy they increased. And in 2003, Italy rose. In Germany, the amount of money spent on books rose more than Italy.
Okay, all right. Very good. One thing that I need you to be careful on is about fluctuation. So for example, this one, it only went down one bit, right? Up, down, up. Actually, this is called just a dip. Okay, it just dipped a little bit, but it did not fluctuate. Fluctuation, we can say fluctuation if it went down 2 times. Up, down, up, down, up. That is fluctuation. Okay, but if it's just one-time thing, you can say had a slight dip. You can do that, slight dip. Before it experienced a steady growth from 1999 to 2005. Like that. Okay, so steady, fluctuation is 2 down and dip is 1 down. Okay, let's go to the next one. Very good planning of which features, which lines you put in the, how can I say, the paragraph 3 and paragraph 4. Be careful when you say Australia. It's not Australia, it's Austria. And the people, you can change. You can say Germans bought, or you can say green, right? Germans were the nation. Germans. It is obvious that Germans were the most fanatic in terms of reading books. Because as you can see from the start until the end, they were the top in spending money on books. So I said Germans, right? French, you know already, Italians, and Austrians.
Wait, does the word obvious show an opinion?
That is not an opinion, because it is something that we can see. Okay, and it's something that we describe about what happened. It will become an opinion if you put because. You can say German.
So can we use the word it is clear that?
It is okay, but many people, many students and many teachers, they say that you should not use it. But when I attended the training in the British Council for IELTS teachers, they said it's okay. It's not a big thing, because it's all about what is obvious, the main feature that is obvious. The opinion that we need to avoid are those that are objective. Okay, obvious versus, sorry, subjective. I mean, subjectives. For example, like this: Germans bought more books because they have more money. There is no evidence in the visual that can provide proof that they have more money than France, Italy, and Australia. But if we say clear, it's all right, no problem. Okay, it's the same as what you did here. Here, explicitly. Explicitly, it means very, very much. So this one is adjective, but it can be proven. Okay, we can, if you feel that a lot of people can agree on it, then it's okay. Explicitly. Yes, it's obviously in the line graph, so we don't need to worry about it. So worry if it's subjective. Okay, so your plan on putting which line to put on paragraph 3 and paragraph 4 are all correct. There is a unchanged or remained the same in 1999 and 2000, which was Austrians. Money spent. You can say purchase, procure. Yeah, spent, purchase, procured, procured. What else? Let me give you some words of procure, purchase. Don't use idioms. Never use idioms. Purchased, sold. Okay, books sold amongst Austrian nationals were like that. So there are many ways to paraphrase how you want to explain a situation. Oh, I have a mistake. Procured. Like that. Same to buy. Okay, let's go to the next one. Very easy, but there is I want to know how you will describe something that was a big change. 1 minute, go. Okay, can you analyze this one for me? 1, 2, 3, go.
The number of visitors in British Museum was always the highest, while it is the opposite for the Science Museum. And they all kind of seem unstable. And in paragraph 3, I think I'll put Natural History Museum and Science Museum from June to July. The number of visitors of the Natural History Museum decreased sharply, while the Science Museum saw a slight drop. Okay, and then from July and August, the Natural History Museum still remained almost intact, while the Science Museum decreased.
Continue to decrease.
And then from August to September, both increased.
Okay. How would you describe something that 2 period they decrease, but at the same what? Same speed. You can say same speed, same amount. So because from 400, it became 350 in the middle. And then after 1 month, again, from 50 becomes 0. So you can say that the Science Museum continued to decrease or to fall at the same speed as the previous month before it finally blah 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 increase or rise or rose from August to September. Okay, that is how you can describe something that is unseen. It's all about analyzing and making the essay more interesting, showing the reader something that that people don't see much, but obviously there is that analysis. And in paragraph 4, you will write about British, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But there's not much to write about British. How would you write it?
I'll compare with the rest.
Okay,
Like
can
the
you
last
try?
one from August to September, it also increased like the rest.
Okay.
And maybe from June to July, it increased, while the rest decreased, I guess. And it is the same for the period for the next month, the next 2 months.
Okay. So here we have, good job. We have 4 months, June to September. This is 4 months in total. What is another word for 4 months in a year? Starts with letter Q. You can put this in your introduction. The line graph illustrates the number of guests per month in summer in 2013. Okay, you can say quarter. The timeline is a quarter of the year, started in June until September. Okay, quarter, because there are 4 months. Can you give me, I said visitors is same guests, the synonym is guests. Is there another word you can use aside from visitors? Remember, they're a museum. So what kind of people go to museum? I'm making it difficult for you. Are you thinking?
Yeah, no, I'm searching.
Okay.
Museum goer?
Yes, museum goers. Museum goers, go O-E-R-S, goers. You can also say visitors, museum goers, guests, or you can also say museum lovers, like that. And perhaps tourists, it's also fine. Museum tourists, because what do you do in the museum? You tour the museum, you go around, you tour it, have a tour, like that. So
And
you
we
can say
use like beach goers.
yes, exactly, beach goers, club goers, if you go to the club. Okay, so those are some of the synonyms that you can use if you run out of words that, because you always use visitors. This one is number, it's not percentage, so you have to be careful. So it's 800,000. You can also write like this. Units are measured in thousands. So we understand that later, if you said 800,000, we're gonna say 800,000, not $800, not 800, not 800%. It's all about thousands. Okay, and never ever use like this. It will make your essay become impolite or informal. Okay, let's go to the next one. Ooh. People who graduated as Doctor of Medicine. 1 minute. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, go.
The whole trend is was not stable, and the number of people who graduated as Doctor of Medicine in EU was the highest, while it is the opposite for the USA throughout the period. In paragraph 3, I put EU and USA from 2013 to 2014 both increased slightly, while and from 2014 to 2016, and I'm thinking of a synonym.
2014 to 2015?
No, the people who graduated as doctor.
From which period? People who graduated. Okay, you can think first before I tell you the answer. Don't make it too difficult. There's very, very easy word. What do they get? What do you get when you graduate?
A degree.
Exactly. You can say the number of students who received their degrees, okay, medical PhD, not PhD, sorry, doctoral degree, like that. You can also say finished university, finished their graduate school. There are two kinds of school in university: undergraduate school and graduate school. So it means that if you are gonna study bachelor's degree, like in Khóa University, HUST, 4 years of engineering, that is an undergraduate degree. After 4 years, you want to study master, taxi or TNC, continue, that is graduate degree, like that. So you can say who received their doctoral degree, or you can say who finished their university, undergraduate university or undergraduate school. Okay, can you continue your analysis?
When you said that doctoral degree.
Yes, doctoral degree.
DOCTORAL.
Doctoral, AL, yes.
So from 2014 to 2016, American people who received a doctoral degree, the number of people who received a doctoral degree remained almost intact, while the number of people who finished undergraduate schools in the EU experienced a do you call this a dip?
This one?
No, the green one.
Sorry, green, EU. Okay. Yes, it's a dip, but it's not a small dip. A significant, you can say a significant drop before it, like that. If it's like this until here, very, very down and then up, you can say plummet. Plummet. You know that, right?
Yes.
Okay. But this one is still a dip or significant drop or significant decrease, significant dip before it, blah, blah, blah.
Before it started to increase again.
What is synonym of again? I can say once more. Once more. And now you have a little bit of mistake in, it's not about line graph, it's about doctor degree. I mean to say that when you say undergraduate, those are Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science, but doctors, they don't have that kind of system, education system. Doctors must continue studying 1 to 10 years. Because, for example, I want to study engineering, accounting, IT. I just need 1 to 4 years. Like that, 1 to 4 years. But doctors must study full 10 years in order to become a doctor. So they don't study undergraduate, they just study doctor's degree. So you can, it's okay to make a mistake like that, because in line graph, the teacher is only checking your English, not about like some information that we must know correctly. If you had a slight mistake in information, like you said, doctors are undergraduate, it's fine, totally fine. You will not get bad score. However, if you made a mistake in analysis of the data, you said that this one is slight drop. Oh, it's not a slight drop, it's a big drop, right? So you will have a minus point for that. Is there anything else you want to write about?
The last paragraph.
The UK.
From 2013 to 2014, it witnessed a moderate decline.
Okay, very good.
It is completely opposite with the EU and the USA.
Which was completely, it's already 13 to 14, so was. Okay, anything else?
And then in the next 3 years, it underwent a steady increase and then reached its peak in 2017.
Okay, very good. The number of people, doctors. Medical doctors. You can also say what you said in your homework. Witness. I see that you have a witness here.
Yeah.
Somewhere. You use witness, so you can use it also here. In 2013 comma, for a year. So you don't need to say 2014. In 2013, for a year, the number of medical doctors, British medical doctors had a slight witness a slight decline. Okay, you can say it like that. Okay, UK is British, USA is American, EU is what? How? What is EU?
Europe,
Okay, how do you call the people of Europe?
European.
European, okay. All right, good. So here is the next one. 4 lines. Go, go, go. 1 minute. Okay. So Tao, 1, 2, 3, go.
The number of cars manufactured in Japan used to be the highest, but at the end of the period, it took the second position, while it is a completely opposite for China. Used to be the lowest, but then took the first place.
Okay. Actually, you should say at the end of the timeline, not at the end of the period, because period is this one, period 1, period 2, period 3, period 4. So, and the whole thing is called the timeline. Okay, timeline. Okay, anything else? That is your overall.
I don't know how to describe this.
Which line?
Like the overall trend.
Yes. You can say that overall, we can see that all countries except for China had a, sorry, not had, because it's 2035, are anticipated or are anticipated to decline steadily until the end of the timeline. Okay, so you can say that because it's 2035, anticipated or forecasted.
Can you write the whole sentence?
Okay, sure. Let me just get my here. Overall, we can see that all countries, remember that I already introduced all the countries in my introduction, so I don't need to say 4 countries names again. We can see that all countries.
What if I forgot to write the name of the 4 countries?
Then write it in the overall.
What if I didn't write it too?
It's going to minus your score, but just a little bit. As long as you can mention all countries in inside the essay, you'll be fine. But if you plan to miss, or if you plan not to, for example, one line is not very important, or one, and you did not include it in the essay, but it's not in the introduction also, then you'll be you will have a low score in task achievement because you did not include everything. So it's very important to say, for example, is this estimated number in hundreds of thousands? The number of cars, of luxury cars exported. Sorry, car exports. Sorry, it should be manufactured, not export. Manufactured in 4 different nations. And then put something here. China, Japan, the UK, Japan, and USA. Okay. Be careful when you use the, we have 2 kinds of comma and Oxford comma. Oxford comma, it means that, for example, if I delete this, one, it means that there are 3 lines: China, the UK line, and Japan and USA line. There are 3 lines. So Oxford comma will tell us that how many, and they are separated. They're not in one. So this one is Oxford grammar before end. Units illustrates the number of luxury cars in 4 different nations between forecasted that will be manufactured in 4 different nations between 2020 to 2035. Units are measured in hundreds of thousands. Okay, so this is how you can do this introduction. And for the overall, we can see all the countries except for all cars. The cars from all countries except for those coming from China are anticipatedly to decline steadily over the timeline. Okay. There are so many words that you can use in forecast. You can say forecast, predicted, anticipated, surveyed to surveyed to decline. So you can remember these for, actually there are more, but you need to do a little bit more searching on Google so you can use some of them. But 4 is enough. You don't need to use all of the synonyms because your essay will look funny if you use all synonyms. Okay. So you can use this overall. And then you go to the 3rd paragraph. You're done. What will you do in the 3rd paragraph? Which ones will you talk about?
Maybe China and USA. The number of cars manufactured of the USA saw a steady decrease throughout the whole period, and it is a completely opposite for China.
Okay. All right. Anything else? Okay. All right. So we go to the next one. This one is easier than it looks. Don't worry much. But you can also try to analyze in a way how much they jump. So for example, from here to here, from here to here, it's 100. From here to here, it's 100. So you can say over the period of 20 to 10 years. Okay. The number of luxury cars manufactured in USA is anticipated to decline 100 to decline twice for about 100,000. Okay, 100,000. because it declined 2 times. It jumped at the same time, same amount, 100 here and then 100 here. Okay. All right. Oil consumption, and I think this one is in the video. How about this one? Okay, you have 1 minute, go. Okay, so Tao, let's analyze this one. 1, 2, 3, go.
This is mixed with future and past.
Yes, so how will you this in here? So your grammar will be mixture of will for the future, or will be, and has or have in here. Past participle or past perfect. This one is future.
The number of people moving from rural to urban areas in Iran used to be the lowest, but then it is anticipated to hit the highest point in 2025.
Very good.
And maybe they are all witnessing an upward trend.
That's correct. Overall, all countries have and will have overall all countries have experienced an upward trend and are anticipated to continue the same development until the end of the timeline. Anything else in the future? I mean,
You mean in the overview?
you can go to paragraph 3 now.
I'll compare Iran and Russia.
Iran and Russia. Okay. Paragraph 3.
From in the first 5 years of the timeline. Oh wait.
No. Okay. Do you need my help?
Yeah, maybe. I lost my word.
It's okay. All right. I could write with you. Yeah, we can write together. Let me just get my text. Let's see. Actually, a good plan for this is in paragraph 3, we can talk about everything that has happened. And then paragraph 4, we can talk about the future. So that's how we can separate the main features. Okay. So we can say in terms of the past and present data, blue is Russia, Russian citizens, Russian, and green is Iran, Iranian. I will use citizens later. For now, I keep it in the reserve. Russians and Iranians. City dwellers. Who decided to move, to relocate to sorry, rural to urban, not urban to rurals. Okay. Let's say to metropolitans. Areas. Saw. Not steady. $15 to $42. So that is a increase of 15 to 22. So that would be 35 of about. I'm going to use about because we are not sure. There's no subline. Subline is more lines inside the line. Millions citizens. And $8 to 38, 35. I think it's the same. 8 to 38 or 35. So it's around 30 also. 30 to 35. Okay, that's it. We don't need to separate the numbers. It's very, very okay to say 30 to 35 millions. So blue is Russian from 8 to 42 is around 32. And 8 to 35 is around 30 million. So I put them together. In task 1, the shorter your sentence is, but the value or the meaning of the sentence has more will give you a really, really good score, because the examiners are trying to find out if you can give meaning using few words, right? So I was able to do that using combination. I combined two lines and two countries and two development in just one line, because we try to compare and contrast. That is the analysis. Okay. So now I'm done with the blue line. And then I can continue this development, this growth continues of both countries, continues until 2020 for a decade more, and expected to rise even more until 2025, 2025. Okay, so you see this one sentence only, but I was able to combine the rest of the present and including the last period, which is the future, expected to rise even more until 2025. So using just two sentences, first sentence, second sentence, I was able to talk about the two lines. Of course, it's not yet complete. I need to put the numbers more here. 95 for 95 for Iranians and almost 90 for Russian. You can put that inside here. Here. Whereas the former will reach, the former is Russian, 89 millions, and the latter 89 plus 95 is about 5 millions more than. Okay, so you see I use my math also. 89 to 95, this area here, it's about 5 million, right? So now it's 3 sentences, but it's still complete and it has a lot of meaning inside of it. Do you know what is former and latter?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Whereas the former and will reach 89 millions and the latter is about 5 millions more Iranians is latter. Okay, so this is the paragraph 3. And then in paragraph 4, you can talk about how much jump or how much amount it jumped. Every time there's a period, it jumps how much? How? 8 to 10 to. How much millions does it jump every time there's a period?
Did you tell me to do something?
Yeah. How many millions did the Indonesian number jump every period?
About 5 million.
Okay, very good. I changed the plan earlier. The plan is paragraph 3 is present and past and present. And then for paragraph 4, it's about the future. This one is 2 lines in paragraph 3 and the last line in paragraph 4, which is also okay. As long as you can analyze all the lines and put them in an organized way. The structure can be different, the style can be different, but it should be clear, short enough for 150 words. The shorter, the better. But the meaning can be condensed or very saturated. Okay, so let's talk about the last line graph, Indonesian. Indonesian that previously lived in the country. When you say country, it can be countryside, okay? You can also say new Indonesian, new city dwellers from the countryside of Indonesia. Okay. Have doubled every period. Started at 10 millions in 2000 and have increased 5 millions every period until 2020, before it is forecasted and now anticipated to remain unchanged for the next 5 years. Okay, it's done. The new city dwellers from the countryside of Indonesia started at 10 millions in 2000 and have increased 5 millions every period until 2020. So that would be 30, okay? And now anticipated to remain unchanged. You can use this every period until 2020. If in the introduction you said intervals of 5 years, okay? This one, you don't need math. You don't need to say the increase 5 millions every period until 2020. You don't need to say the number, which is 30 million. You don't need to say it because you already said 5 years interval. So the reader understand that, okay, 2000, 2005, 2010, 2015, 4 times period, every period. But if you don't do this interval of 5 years, you must write the exact amount in here. Okay. every period for 4 times until 2020. But if you already put here intervals of 5 years, we can delete this. Okay, so that is one way to describe this. Okay. There are more line graphs, but don't worry. I would like to share this Canva link to you, and you can come back here and you can try to write more if you want. You can write here also, but don't forget that you have a homework, which is this one. I can see a lot of development, very varied. Okay, before we go, do you have any question, Tao?
I think that I repeat the phrase, the number 4 and the figure 4 a lot in my previous homework.
That's okay. That's very, very acceptable. No problem. Anything else? Three times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 4 times. That's totally okay. No problem. There are some technical words that we cannot change a lot. Those are accepted to be, for example, line graph. There's no other way to say line graph. Number and figures are just number, figures, digits. Those are just 3. You can say digits. The total digits, or you can say data. No problem. Okay, anything else?
Wait me a bit.
Sure.
Can you
I'm sorry?
scroll up a bit? I want to see the line graph again. My computer cannot load. So I saw in my paragraph, I used the word fluctuation for the blue line in the local students.
Fluctuation
Is it correct?
for the local students. Okay. I see it. Oh, sorry. Wait, so wait, there's a period of
And
time.
I said that in the period.
The number of Australian students witness a fluctuation in the period. Yeah, it should be over the period.
So the fluctuation is okay.
Let me just double check. Meanwhile, the number of Australian students over the periods. Australian. Yes, it is okay. There was a lot of change, unchanged, decline, increase. You see here, up, down, unchanged, down, up, down. So it's totally correct, fluctuation.
So I often write in my essay that throughout the period.
Yes, you can say that throughout the period. Over
Is
the period
correct?
is all. Yes, correct. But don't say in the period. You need to be specific. You can say in the period of blah, blah, blah to blah, blah, blah. Okay, so that it's understandable that you're not talking about a specific period, but over a timeline of period.
I still can't differentiate between timeline and period.
This one is a timeline from 2001 to 2020. Period, it can be 1 period or 3 period. Can be 2 period, can be 4 period, but there should be a for example, a timeline period between periods between 2001 to 2010. It means there's a specific timeline inside the period. But if you just say period, it's only one. Later on, you will see how much more you know about this. And if you made a mistake later, we will see, and then you will realize it. Don't worry much. Okay.